Check one, two, check one, two. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. I will check real quick to make sure because I know I'm not really good with this volume thing. All right, so I'm on. So what's going on, guys? It is Friday, and usually y'all know what it is. Friday is Circle Talk Day, and I'm excited. Today is October 1st, so happy October 1st to everybody out there that loves this month. For whatever reason it may be Halloween or your birthday's coming up. Who knows what it is? But this month is actually going to be Bully Prevention Month. It's also going to be Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's also for some people it's Autism Awareness Month. So there's a lot of stuff going on this month, and today we just want to go ahead and give a shout out to all those people that are excited and celebrated uh, October. So first off, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor, iShotya.com is in the building. My friend Marvin Patterson. If you're local and need some pictures done anywhere, anytime, any place, my guy, he got you. He'll meet you. He'll get you done in a great price. And as you guys can see, the pictures above me, he took those in all the pictures of my house. So iShotya.com, hit him up. He'll get you done. Also, I want to give a good shout out to my friend uh, Junior Thomas from Icon ENT. He is actually our second sponsor, and he is doing an event October 23rd. It's called the All Black Party, and yours truly will be there doing interviews for Circle Talk and just being a person to talk to the people. So watch out for that. If you guys don't know any information and have not got the information on the All Black Party, please hit me in the inbox. You can hit up Junior Thomas, and we'll get you guys situated as far as that goes. October 23rd is going down, All Black Party. Without further ado, one of the things that I want to do before I move into bringing in Lonnetta in is I wanted to just have a moment of silence for a few people that have left this earth and are now with our Father. Um, um, First off, I want to touch on a good friend I met last year through a friend of a friend. Last year, actually, around this time, I did an event called uh, um, a breast cancer fundraiser, and which performers came and raised money for for breast cancer, and we ended up all the money that we raised, we ended up giving it to a breast cancer foundation to try and help find a cure for breast cancer fundraiser. And this person actually came and was our guest speaker. She's her name is Laura Messner. She came and actually spoke during the event and told us a little about her life and some of the things that she had went through in her upbringing. And one of the things about Laura, I met her about a year and a half ago, singing online with her brother Richard Jr. They called him, and Richard Jr. is an amazing guy, young guy. I think he was about 34. He actually passed away this week, and I just only thing that I can tell you guys about him is that when you seen him, he lit up the screen. He didn't care about the fact that he was different. He looked like everybody else, but everybody that knew him and seen him on the screen knew that he had a little something different about him, and that was because he had autism, but you could never tell because of how much he smiled, how much he laughed and enjoyed himself, and enjoyed the time that he had with his sister. And so I wanted to give a huge shout out to him and just have a moment of silence for him. And also my good friend Greg Schneider. This man I've been working with the last couple years. We've done a lot of feeding the community. He's been to my house. I've been to his house. We had tons of conversations, and just an amazing soul. Anybody that met Greg know that he's an awesome guy, and he's definitely going to be missed around here in the community. And so I just wanted to take a moment to just give a moment of silence for these two real quick. So Thank you. So one of the things that I want to do, I don't want us to all be down because this is supposed to be a good time. Lonnetta's coming on and she's going to give us some great insight and she's going to get us informed on what's been going on with her since the last time she was here. So I'm really excited to bring her on. So without further ado, guys, let's bring Lonnetta in. Hey, can you hear me okay?
Hey.
How are you?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
I'm
can hear
good.
you. So what's going down, sisters? I know it's been it's been about 3 months since the last time we talked?
It really has.
I
Time
mean,
has
mind
been
you,
going.
we did meet up and go do a little run and hit some stairs, but since then, what's
And
been going
then,
on with you though?
um, I've been busy, like just grinding and, with teamwork and
Yeah.
trying to step my stair game up, trying to get my miles up for our next encounter. But
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say something off. This is off the record. This is
he
off
was
my
running them
notes.
stairs.
This is
Oh
off
my
my
gosh.
notes right now. I'm gonna bring it to you right now. Tomorrow, I'm supposed to be going hit the stairs with Zakia
We got
Thomas.
off the record, bro.
What's up? You gonna come through? Come get them stairs tomorrow. We're gonna be at it.
I'm supposed to. I'm let's see.
All right, let's go. Let's go. So
Yes, that
so
was fun. That was
so
fun.
this what
It's my first time.
huh?
It was my first time. So
I gotta give you props
if you know,
too.
you know.
I got to give you props because I didn't know if you were going to come through. I mean, a lot of people say they're going to come through, but I wasn't sure, and I'm just going to keep it real with you. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it. And then when you was there before me, I was like, "Oh, she ready. She ready. She was ready." And then you got up there and did it. So I was
Then we
like,
did the mile after.
"What's that?"
Yeah, that was good. I didn't know. I said then we did the mile
Yeah,
after.
we did. We did. We did. We
I didn't
actually
know.
did. I
I think
forgot about the mile.
the biggest part of the workout was getting in there and
Yeah.
getting out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that part.
It's always a challenge getting in there, unless we're lucky and we catch one of those days where they're having all these events going
Yeah.
on and the gates open, but that's a rarity.
Yeah.
So let's jump into it.
Yes. So that was
What's
fun.
been going on with teamwork? I know you guys been busy. I've been seeing a lot of stuff happening. So tell us about the last few months. What's been going on with y'all?
Yeah. Some good stuff. On August 4th. So let me just start back. So teamwork, we do bullying prevention, responsible gaming, things like that, video gaming clubs. On August 4th, so my son, who is a gamer, YouTuber, is part of the Xfinity team. So in partnership with them and Comcast and the mayor, we went, and Boys and Girls Club, we were able to give out 100 laptops, free Wi-Fi to all the kids who took home a laptop.
Yeah.
And then Comcast donated $10,000
Wow, that's amazing.
to the Boys and Girls Club. But I mean, and that's life changing for some kids. When it comes to equity, and through the pandemic, we learned so many kids. If they don't have a laptop or they don't have Wi-Fi, they're just left behind. And so, huge partnership, dream come true. We do our clubs, our gaming clubs at Al Davies. Marcel grew up at Al Davies. So to give back to that community was huge.
Yeah.
Lessons of responsible gaming, healthy habits, stuff like that. So Marcus Trufant showed up, John Gaines, each did a lesson, things that we would normally do in our club, invite people from the community to come speak, or that's what they did.
Yeah.
So it was super powerful. I like a dream come true, and I say that just as a CEO giving back to kids, and that's my heart, but also as a like something that God had planted in my heart.
Mhm.
Kids, and so
Awesome. Awesome. So also, you guys did something
it's
else
pretty big.
too a little bit later too, right? Let's talk about that. That was kind of big. That was kind of big. You guys
Yes, we had some wind in our.
talk to me about it. Multicultural Child
Yeah,
and Family Hope Center.
So I yes, so I thought at the time I was like, we can't beat August 4th. That was amazing, and nothing like it. But on September 12th, which was National Video Games Day, and 2 years from when we launched our video gaming clubs, let me tell you. So I got to tell you, it wasn't even supposed to be what it was.
Yeah.
So, the goal is to celebrate that each year because it's our launch, 2 years from our launch. And, but after we did August 1st thing, I was like, do we really need to, so much is going on. And our board members, Rushy was like, no, we should do another. He had this idea. And so we were going to do a pop-up, which is something that we have done before, where we bring all of our equipment. My son Marcel takes pictures with the kids. We do some gaming. We have some fun. And he's like, yeah, let's do that at Multicultural Child and Family Hope Center, and where he's contracted through. But I was like, okay, let's do it. And when after we met, like, just to see all the stuff that they do over there and the kids they help and all the resources and how much they're involved in our community was just amazing. And I don't want to cry, but just fell in love with the facility and the people there. And in 3 weeks notice, we went from showing up with our equipment and going to have a fun day with barbecue, food, resources, to create a work zone that stays there inside the center, rather than us bringing it all and then pull, and with them. And then so that became an idea. And they were also behind the scenes. They had a surprise for us in the sense of, turning it in, doing all this work inside this room and having a painter come in. But together, like within 15 days, and then with the help of the Bamford Foundation and Tacoma Urban League, because I sent an email saying, hey, last minute, we're trying to able to create a work zone. And so we have a gaming center inside the Hope Center. And it's the coolest thing ever. Just for so many reasons. So, like, just getting our kids into and opportunities. It's that like, again, one of those only.
Oh, sorry about that, y'all. They kicked her. Hopefully, we can get her right back in. The internet connection is a little glitchy, but here she is. Let's see if we can get her back on. One sec. Are you there?
Yeah, you had me up here talking, and I wasn't even up.
The internet keeps kicking you. It keeps glitching a little bit. So, you know how it is. Okay. Internet is always a hot mess. Like,
I know.
We need to just go ahead and just, you could come to the house and we could do it right here on the couch.
You should.
I've done it.
Let's go. I want to go to the studio. I'm not coming back on this circle. You guys, tell them we need a
See,
studio. We need to go there.
yeah, we well, the studio is still in the making. Like right now, everything is based out of the home, and so
Hey,
in due time.
I was, for the audience, I would say studio. You and I know I would be sitting on the couch.
Yeah. Yep. But most I think definitely we will do that to avoid any type of internet stuff. Like
Yeah, sorry
I
about
don't
that.
really I don't really have too many problems here. I mean, I try to prepare myself. When I first started doing this, my internet used to glitch on me all the time, and so I had to buy like a you know higher system, whatever.
Yeah,
So. Uh,
I know about that.
but it is what it is. We'll get through it though. Everything is good. Everything is good. So
Yeah.
how did you feel when because did you see it before that day when you guys
Yeah.
you got to go and prove and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, so it was definitely a team effort between I and oh my gosh, the people at my Family Hope Center are like the dream team. They each had different gifts of like we all know, not we
Yeah,
all know, but you and I know we have special gifts. And the
yeah.
team I had there, whether it was electrician or painting or just the creative or the tech, we just all came together and put this room together 15 days. So early mornings, late nights, there on Saturday. Me seeing what they have and uh, the from the room, and then we had a painter come in and just helping pick those colors. But it was definitely a team effort.
Mhm.
Like they were grinding.
That's awesome.
So uh, it was. It won't be the last. Let me tell you about that. And then, of course, not of course, we were honored to have Mayor Woodards come, and she named it Teamwork Day, and then the Multicultural Day
Yeah.
on that day. So
So let me ask you something, because I'm not too familiar with Multicultural Child and Family Center. Where exactly is that at? So if I'm saying for example, if I wanted to take my kids there, how,
So
where exactly is
there's a
it?
couple. So I haven't took the tour,
Hmm.
but what I do, I think there's 3 different locations. I know of the um, like the under the pre-K and Down Center is off of 19th State, and then where the center is, where the work zone is at, is
Hmm.
off of like 23rd and State. So it's behind the BSHS building,
Yeah.
TNT,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
um, and they just have just you go in and the kids just light up. The staff lights up. Um, I've been told it has the most male educators
Hmm.
in Washington State, which is
Wow. Wow.
something that is huge.
Yeah.
And that our kids are having male role models that are educators, especially men of color. So yeah, so we were all on board. It was like, you know,
It's awesome.
what's the budget? We don't need a budget. But we did help.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
sponsors. But
Yeah. For sure.
yeah, it was like we want to put this here. We want to be connected with this community. We want to come back in, and teach the education that we teach, and then also give them opportunities in esports where there is a low percentage of you know kids of color, people of color, and so just giving that opportunity to young people from our neighborhood,
Hmm.
um, an
For sure.
opportunity to
For sure.
get in, and maybe they'll want a game, maybe they'll want to create a game. You never know. So
Yeah, yeah, and that's great that it's given kids that opportunity to have an avenue to get off the streets. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And because them streets aren't aren't very kind at times. So it's nice to have somewhere to go where people are going to take care of you. And if you just want to go there to game, it's a place where you can go and game and learn games and make friends, and and be in a positive environment, around positive people. So that's awesome. That's
Yes,
really cool. Really,
yes.
really cool.
That's,
So
yeah.
let's talk a little bit about this picture I seen. I'm switching it up on you. So I was, obviously when I was preparing your video, I came across this picture, and I was thinking about putting it on your vid, but then I was like, no, I won't put it on the vid. I'll just talk to you about it, and maybe you can, kind of touch on that time for your life and what transpired during that time. So you know which picture I'm talking about, right?
The, yeah, I think there's all the, I mean, I don't have a whole lot. So I think that I know, I'm pretty sure the picture of,
I
um,
know that the picture was you.
mhm.
I think it was you. You was little, sitting on someone's. I think it was either your mom or your dad.
Yep.
Lap.
You're brave.
Hey, but
One, oh,
last time,
let me
last
just tell,
time.
well, I'm gonna tell the, let me tell the people, these
Okay.
things are not scripted. You pretty much don't know what you're walking into, which is what I love about being on here. But he's also brave because he doesn't know what I'm going to say.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Well, that's why we always at least have a quick convo before we get on, just to make
I
sure.
know. I love it.
Because you know me, I've been known to step on toes, and I don't want to be that type of person. I want to make sure that I'm, um, covering things are that you would like to talk about, and you're comfortable speaking on. And so, hopefully, this is one of them.
Well,
So, tell me a little bit about that time in your life.
let me see the picture. Did we show the picture?
I didn't show the picture. You want me to show the picture?
Well, oh, you just want to talk about the picture?
Yeah, I didn't want to show it because I
Okay,
didn't know how
that's
you would feel about it. So I
okay.
I
Look
figured we
at
just touch on it.
you.
Yeah, but
You
I think the picture, probably showing the picture, may have
okay? You're like that
brought
one.
out an emotional side, and so I figured talking about it would be a little easier.
Well, easy. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
welcome.
So on that post, I mean, there's a lot going on during that time. When I posted it, I was kind of just the time just kind of talking about, highlighting like that I have a white passing mom, and black dad, and we were living in Texas, where racism was um, very out in the open. So similar to what we've seen in just the recent few years here. That was a day to day of where people just had the courage to say what they wanted, do what they want, especially in the 70s with the next kid in Texas.
Yeah,
So I had, I mean, me and my siblings say they were crazy. To even put up with that, to even,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You got to be a different type to be like, we doing this anyway. like,
right.
and to walk in public and to take that on, and some of the things I saw. And when I wrote it, I was missing just on how, um, one, how it was so blatant here, but also how much when I did move up here when I was 7. Uh, in fact, my first day of school, someone told me that I was pretty for a nigger. I realized how different it was up here. It's not so. It was recently we've seen some different actions,
Hmm.
and Facebook has given people a lot. It was, racism was hidden. They had their own language that they thought we didn't understand, and
Yeah,
just using their power and just kind of, just kind of that snarky type stuff. They didn't just come out and call you names and let you know what they were doing. And so when I wrote that, I was also thanking. Um, that post was about thanking like our allies, because my mom was an ally, but also recognizing like how much bold rate towards allies. They say things to allies that they would never say to us on the street. And I saw so many people getting, of my friends that were allies that, white or white passing, that were on Facebook, just people just going after them, for saying Black Lives Matter. And so when I wrote that, that's kind of the message about it. But when you talk about it, like what was going on then, things were, for kid, I mean, be young, but it does remind me of just some of the things that both my parents went through. Like they have a story, and that was part of their story, and it makes me who I am, but also some of the struggles they went through, and the things that tormented them that impacted, my life. And so I got that mixture of, some of the stuff I am of like super brave and this and that, but then also the things that I have made a decision to change from my life or for my kids' life, or why I do teamwork.
Yeah.
We think of bullying. Some people, we think of bullying of like, give me your lunch money, woo, 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 on the playground. But bullying has this long definition, but if you break it down, it's just someone using their power or their influence to cause harm to you repeatedly.
Right.
That's a bully.
Yep.
So power could be they're stronger than you, they have a title. Influence could be they got more friends, or they know more people, and we were growing up, it was always shown as the jock was the bully, or the cheerleader who was popular, who had more influence. So that was where the power, but there's so many other ways so many other positions of power where people repeatedly use their power to cause harm, whether it's a parent or someone in politics or a teacher or just, and for our kids, it could, of course, I'm saying this is as an adult, right. There's still bullies, people, they could wear a badge. So bullying prevention is one of those things that I'm super passionate. It's all, it covers so many things. There's girls that get caught up in sex trafficking. We have another name for it, but really it's bullying. It's that same using a power to get you, to cause harm to you repeatedly. And so with all and domestic violence. And I say all these things, and I say that that's why it's so important to me, but it's because I've walked through so many of the things that I just talked about, and so, and it's someone uses their power, and so just my goal now is teaching kids that they're valuable, and that the experiences they go through make them valuable, especially a lot of the things that are, it's just like no one else is like you, no one has done exactly like you, no one has the exact family, the exact makeup, right. Everything about you, but also that nothing that someone tries to do to you can take away that value, because I didn't know that, and so when it's used to you in life, that you don't feel valuable, and if you don't feel valuable, you're not going to do things that have worth, and so, and that's the same, I mean, and I'm talking about the person who's bullied, but also the bully, like or not, try not to call them a bully, the person who bullies. Yeah. I don't want to label them, but because what, hurt people hurt others. So I really push about both need help. The one that's being bullied, because how do we get them to know, like, you don't deserve this, because it's very low percentage that anything that I'm, whether it's sexual abuse, domestic violence, bullying, any of those things, no one reports it. I mean, people do, but it's very rare. And so just teaching kids, like, no, you're valuable. You don't deserve it. You need to get out of the situation. You need to talk to somebody who will help you. And then on the other end, like, what happened to this? Why is this 7-year-old bullying? What's going on? And so,
Yeah,
just super
sometimes.
passionate about kids. I know things can look super pretty on the outside, but like you just don't know what kids are going through. And
Yeah,
so that's
yeah,
why we do teamwork. It's video games and lots of fun and lots of opportunities, but we really are looking for a connection with the kids and being there for them. And
absolutely.
yeah,
I
so
think that's interesting that you brought up the part about not just the person that's being bullied, but the the person who is doing the harm to that individual and what they're going through. Because sometimes that person that's creating this hardship for this person over here might be dealing with a whole nother hardship themselves, from somewhere else. Could be, like you said, at home.
yeah,
Your mom or your dad could be that bully. You just
right,
your brother could be that bully. Your
exactly,
neighbor, you never know what that person is going through. And so
exactly.
that's very interesting. And it's very important too to not give up on that particular person just because this person's hurting. That person might be hurting too. So, they may need
Yeah,
somebody to go and, get into them and dig in and just, hey, you don't have to be this way.
yeah,
If you want to talk about it, let's talk about it.
yeah,
It's all about finding that avenue to create that, like you said, that relationship, you
yeah,
know, to get it out of them.
yeah. And so, I mean, in my experience, yeah, sometimes it's like, you know, they just don't know better, but or like they're like, oh, I didn't know I couldn't do that. But then it's like, but if you really, take the time to get to know and help this kid that's doing something, there's often flags there. Like, just in my experience, I'm like, and it doesn't always have to be, the most dramatic things or some of the stuff I experienced, but it could be, just um, how they're perceiving things in a
Mhm.
certain, like they're hurting somewhere,
Yeah.
or it's someone did this to me and I'm gonna do it here, and
Yeah. And then you have those episodes where it's a learned behavior. It's something
and
that
so
the whole
I see
family is learning and doing. It's like, I don't know if you ever seen, I think it's either
exactly.
Happy Gilmore or one of those Adam Sandler shows where throughout the show or throughout the movie he gets harassed by this kid at school, and after the kid does something to him, he always says Odor rules. And
Mm,
towards the end of the movie, his whole family is saying, this bully's whole family is saying Odoy rules, Odoy rules. And you basically see a pattern where mom and dad is doing it, then the kids are doing it. Sometimes it's just learned behavior, and it's unfortunate because family shouldn't be that way, but
yeah,
reality is it's out there too.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And it takes all kinds of forms, just like we say racism or something else, it's like it's passed down and it's just behavior that, which is, you know, our system is
Mhm.
is a bully, under that definition, and
Yeah.
that people operate in that, like, power to a person or a group of people over and over again. And so bullying prevention covers like the things that help with that are things that would help, you know, in most situations, of just understanding, like, wait a minute, like, I'm a valuable person, and
Right.
like your words, because we were taught, sticks and stones may break my
Yeah.
bones, but words will never hurt me. But then I'm at it, like, no, they do hurt. Like, we know that people, and people can be so cruel online
Hmm.
with their words,
Yeah.
which is a part why we are on the online community. But um, they do hurt, and so just teaching kids of like knowing the truth about them before they hear lies from someone else
Yeah, for
about
sure.
them is just super important. And so we start there, and then we also educate kids on like if you see something, say something. Because even if like in the instance, like as an adult, if you see something, say something. If you see a kid that's getting bullied, of course step in. But then also be like, okay, why is he this way? And you'll find out more about that child needs just as much help and just as much
Absolutely.
support and education as the one that's being bullied. And so, um, and then that doesn't always come off super popular,
Right.
It's like, no, take care of him too, but just knowing, like, I'm doing bully prevention for 10 years, uh, kids programming for 20, our business has been that works around kids for 30. Like, so I'm just kind of like, I've been doing this for a little bit, and
Yeah.
kids, um, they're just sponges, and um, they like if you can just educate them about who they are and their power, and and the lies of like, oh, when you, but not till you grow. Kids are valuable right now, and they're doing things now, and they will run circles around you when it comes to the internet or how to operate certain things,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
educated. They're they have so much information. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, I'm like, stay off that website. But uh, they are just amazing. And so just if you aren't thinking about kids and not judgmental to everyone, but
Right.
in my thing, if you're not thinking of leaders today as change makers today, as valuable today, that they have needs that need to be met today, um, you're missing it, because they're they're everything,
Yeah.
So
So let me do some, and I could get in trouble for this, but I know we are
know
talking
you run.
about. I know we're talking about the kids, and obviously, the kids are extremely important, obviously in my life and yours. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but we're also talking about you, and so for me, I know
Oh,
as a young
gosh.
man coming up, as a young man coming up, when it comes to bullying. I never really had to deal with it a ton. Obviously,
Mhm.
I've been called the N word plenty of times by people, and I've been roughed up a little bit by the police because I
Mhm.
was hanging with two people of different ethnicities than me. Um, but as far as bullying goes, when I think back to me being a kid from 7 to 14 and thinking about if there was anybody that I would consider someone that bullied me in my life, I would say my dad. My dad was a bully. He bullied me, he bullied my brothers, and he bullied my mom. Would you say the same for you? Was your dad a bully or
I would say, yeah, yeah. I mean, not to, you know, you know, to say too much, but yes. And again, um, as I'm older and forgiving and
Mhm.
work with kids, and why it's so important that I work with kids at a young age is, as I know my dad and his background, and being a Vietnam vet, with a
Yeah,
Purple Heart, and certain things that happened to him,
yeah,
I can trace back to why he is who he is, and it just makes me more passionate about at an early getting kids at a young age before they get to a certain point in life where they have power. Because sadly, I've had so many experiences with people in power, whether it's a boss or church leader or teacher or whatever, that has power, that abuses it,
and made you feel
and
smaller, are inferior basically to their powers. So
Or police officer, like I've had total bully.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so you don't know if it's something that they're a kid and they're like, when I grow up and have power, I'm going to do this, or it's just they never got the help they needed. They never, and so again, I've been in lots of arenas and I'm put my all in and like, you know what, like I'm gonna make a change. And do I say something? Yes. Do I stick up for myself? Yes. Do I stick up for others? Yes. But my real work is working with kids to that point.
Absolutely.
Again, going back to not knowing the truth and letting things make me feel not valuable. I acted on some of the things that they say will happen. If you're sexually abused, you're going to be on the pole. Okay, well, that was a true statement for me. You know what I'm saying? Or just certain things they say. If you don't feel like you're part of the family, you'll join a gang.
Yeah.
Or there's those because just childhood experiences. There's actually. Have you heard of that?
Say
So
it again.
adverse childhood experiences.
Adverse child.
So it's called, there's ACEs. And anyway, it's a test that educators have used where like if so many things in your childhood have happened to you, it's a point thing and it points to like where you might be headed. And again, I want to change that too. Like, nope, we're not going to label because a kid went through this, that this
Right.
is where they're going to.
I'm writing it down.
And so educating adults, but also again, getting to the kids. That what's happened to them doesn't put them in a category. It doesn't mean they have to respond in a certain way. And about challenging youth to level up to full potential is Teamwork's motto. Because there will be challenges, there will be stuff that happens. We know that. And so instead of act up or give up, we want them to level up. So it's how they respond,
Absolutely.
what they already know about themselves, things like that. So
Absolutely.
I'm running. I'm like, woo, woo, woo. You gotta be like,
You know me. I'm just like I'm trying to touch the surface because uh, for me personally, I feel like we had a lot to say after our first segment that we had no choice but to do it again, and I feel like you're giving me pieces of it, you know.
but I also told you there's volumes to this mess. This ain't one chapter.
And that's okay. I don't mind. I
It's
enjoy
like
it. I
the
enjoy,
encyclopedia. Like you gotta
hearing the
get.
layers and for me, like I we have of some similarities in our stories, and so that's why it really I'm drawn to it, because I mean my dad was in the military too, and
Yes.
he's came out the military and had a lot of issues, and that's why he became who he became, and like it is what it is, and you just gotta take the good with the bad and try and be better and do better, and like
And that's what I admire about you is and that's what we want to let kids know and get examples of how you can change the destiny for your kids.
right,
Not everybody knows that, and it's repeated.
yeah,
When if my parents know a little bit above them, there was something,
yeah,
and it just gets passed down, and it takes someone like you to say, "Look at me," um,
I
that
made it,
says not it says no more, like,
yeah,
and people like us, and then the kids that we talk to, and the people that are watching. It's like, you can change your legacy, you can change, you know, what's going to happen for your kids and beyond, and so.
so I'm gonna ask you a question. I know you don't have a whole lot of
I'm
time.
about.
You got to
But
get
what else? What you want?
and it's a scenario question. I think I may have asked the same something similar last time we had talked, but I want to ask again because maybe someone that didn't view it last time may want to hear it. So um, your mom's white, your dad's black. You go to school, you're in sixth grade. New school, never really been there before, out of town, and you get to the school and um, you're kind of alone. You got a black side, you got a white side, and neither side wants to accept you. Um, Kid comes home from school and tells you, nobody really wanted to talk to me. I don't want to go to this school anymore. What are you telling this? What are you telling this kid? What are you gonna tell?
Mm.
Because
So
I know you have been through something similar to this. I know
yeah,
you have. And
yeah,
so for me, my daughters have kind of went through this. And so how do you how do you talk to them and let them know that, this is just now. It's not going to be this way forever. You're going to
right.
make it through this. How?
Um, yeah, I my earliest remembrance of like having a response was third grade when I was up here in Washington. But I do like I have memories of in elementary school in Texas where a teacher had to. I don't even know how I got there, but I remember they had a adult who wasn't. I don't even think she was in the school. Get me from sitting underneath the desk, um, because it was real prevalent. Like it was just anti life back then for there to be a mixed kid, especially, and even to this day, I think we talked about it, like communities are still all black, all white,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And so oh, that was my mailman putting stuff in the mail. Um, and then up here, it was more intrigue. It was, I remember like when I was really young, it was like, oh, can I touch your hair? And things like that. And what are you? And my dad, again, one of the positive things he taught me was, I mean, he was like, "You're human. Like, what race are you?" And he would always say, "You tell them, you're human," And that's exactly how it was said. It was never like, "Tell them you're human." And so I would be like, I'm human, um, which doesn't help, again, with, just people wanting to pick on you or whatever for being different. But I also got a chance to just learn so many. It wasn't just about like the tones of my of skin. It was different cultures
Hmm.
that I got to learn. My mom being Native and Jewish, just learning the different cultures there, and my dad Creole, and um, but again, you don't fit in, and
Yeah.
school at the time, and so now 4 kids like me, they were that it's like, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? And like and all the family comes over, and I'm like, well, no family's coming over, and we don't like Thanksgiving, and you know what I'm saying. But that's if
Yeah.
that's the norm, and you don't fit in, so you're always feeling like you less than because of the way that systems were set up, and things like that. So yes, I know what it feels like to be different. I know what it feels like to have both sides understand, why these adults up here did all this and made me. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so you get the brunt of that, and which causes all kinds of things where you don't have that extended family. And I just feel like all kids should have someone. We always teach, like when we're saying, if anything's happening to you, talk to a trusted adult, because we know
Yeah.
we can't say parent or whatever. Like that might not be their trusted adult. So, um, but when you don't have extended family in your business like some families would be, different things happen. But again, letting a child know like that's the uniqueness of you having these different cultures, because it's different, like um the way two people grow up regardless is going to be different. That's what makes you so valuable.
Yeah.
And I always but I tell my kids, like, yeah, you got the best out of both of your, and I believe that about me. um I have I've got quite a few siblings. I have one sister that were the same mom and dad. But as a parent to someone who looks like me, or multiracial, or whatever they want to call it, I respect that. There there's more like there's more that are like them, like it when it comes to, there are a lot of tan people, brown people. There's a lot of melanated people on this earth. Let me just say that.
Melanated.
And it's continuing to climb.
Yes, it is.
Um,
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
and so, but it doesn't really, it goes back to them, you just really getting to their heart and letting them know how valuable they are. Because this world is cruel.
Yes, it is.
Um, and they'll find it don't matter. They'll find something to pick, like, that pokes at you. Like, that's some people's mission in life, is to find out what pokes at you or what makes you different, so they can talk about it that to other people who wouldn't understand the difference. And I always educate, what makes you different is what makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a group of everyone the same, you can't get anything done. Like, you need people that are different to make something happen, that have different experiences, that have different likes, dislikes, know something different than you don't, and they bring it to the table. And so for a child that is different, you just your value. That's what makes you so special, especially to this person. And it's really about them.
Yeah.
A hurt person is going to hurt them. And so you have to teach that empathy but also, like, no, you're not going to take their shit, but just understand. Oh, can I say shit? You're not going to take their mess.
That was twice. So.
You're not going to take their mess. Let me tell you, like, something ain't right for them to even want to come at you about this. And people that aren't part of your life, that don't understand, they're missing out. Because, again, like I said, as a child or whatever, you are it. Like, if you, like, these kids are so powerful and have so much to offer this world. But you have to, like I said, educate. There's certain things that are taught, like, if you don't fit in this bubble, that looks like this, that learns like this, that has a family that looks like this, that you're not valuable. But it's the norm. Like, if you look like, why are you special if you look like everybody else, or you have exact same family, or exact same, like, that's not, why do you want to, that means there's a whole bunch of pennies, not a lot of whole $100 bills.
Makes
you know
you
what I'm
ordinary.
saying?
It makes you ordinary and not extraordinary. So,
You know what I'm saying? And I love that. I actually have it's not a published book, but it talks about that. But yeah. So.
Well, good.
For any parent, and so, like, whether it's, let me just say this real quick, just I have to. As a parent, like, we talk about special needs or whatever. Every kid has a special need, in a sense, where they need their parent to understand what they're going through, and just kind of be that for them. Also, to understand for them, again, like I say, if there are positive people in their life, it could be the in-law that don't necessarily like you, but they're going to love on that baby, your baby, like, or whatever, and that, and your kid's going to be safe, and they want to be around a different adult. Give them that opportunity, get them in sports where they have a great coach, whatever it is, so that your kids are surrounded by people that are encouraging them and able to speak to, or they can say something to. It's important, because they just need to understand that, and be able to express, and have people pour into them about how much they believe in them. They need to hear it over and over again from positive adults, and just be able to walk in that. Because, like, an example is my son. People could say anything to him anonymously, but as a kid, his head was so big. He could do no wrong. He was our only for a while, and then also, but just also life taught him, like, shit is hard too. Like, and you just, like, so that stuff just rolls off, and they just can walk in it and it'll be easier and they're going to be able to play like, because it really, I look back, I don't know them people that was acting stupid in school.
Yeah. Speaking about your son, real quick, I'll throw a quick question out there before we close up shop.
Yep.
How's Alpha Beats going? The
Alpha betas. So they
Alpha
are,
Betas. That's right.
yeah. So I just talked to Black Dot not too long ago, and some episodes are coming out soon with some cameos from other gamers that weren't part of the original group, but their fans, supporters have been super great in
Yeah.
making that happen. He also has Gaming While Black, which is it's on YouTube, and it has Black gamers and kind of talk about their experiences, being able to make fun of it, like we all do who have trauma, to be able to laugh at certain things and make fun of, just kind of like, this really happened, but let's talk about it. But also they have a lot of fun.
That's good.
That's been amazing, and teamwork's we're going good. So I feel really happy. We're in a good space, and
Well, good. That's
just like you, like I'm like you.
I'm here.
You always are. You're pleasant in the community too. Do we? I mean, I feel like okay, you heard it here first. Next time, since they're always impromptu and he's just always going off the cuff. Next time I'm gonna be your host. And we're gonna find out the nitty gritty.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with it. I stay ready, so bring it.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna.
I got that gab. I tell you it all. I ain't very scared.
Yeah, be ready for our next 2-hour podcast.
Yeah. So what's next for Miss Lonnetta? What y'all got coming? You guys got anything coming up at the end of the year, next year? What you think? Anything?
I wish I was like, had this plan that I could reveal. Like this
you got some stuff in the works though, right?
Always grinding, lots of conversations. We've gotten a lot of exposure since we've had the Comcast event. Commercials and all that have been out, so we've gotten a lot of exposure and interest. Yeah. The goal is always to, do our thing and plant our roots right here deep and make sure that we're taking care of our community. But we know with Marcel and our followers that we are meant to help kids all over the country, maybe the world. And so that, we're always in conversations on how to make that happen. But again, like the grind is here, our job and know what we're doing is the deal. And so that's kind of what I'm focusing on right now. And not kind of, it's my jam right now.
That's your thing.
It's my
well, I'm so happy that you came on and had this conversation with me again. I feel like we still got a lot more to talk about, and maybe we'll do that, like you said, round 3. We'll make it happen. It's gonna go down again. We're gonna do some stairs first, and then we'll figure out all the.
Well, that's the thing is he gets you in the stairs and put you in a weakened state. You can have all your business. He tells you all his, and you just like, boop, and he's like, next time on the circle.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm gonna tell you this straight up. I haven't been to the stairs since probably the last time we went. So when I go tomorrow,
that's what you get. Trying to show up. He was not just run from me.
I wasn't running from you. I was motivating the whole time. We was motivating each other. Yeah,
that was a beast. I like that kind of stuff. I like it. So let's
very,
get back
very
at
good
it.
work. Very intense work.
You don't go,
when you go to Stadium High School, it's not a joke.
And I had no idea. I've seen stories and it's like, oh, look at me. Other people, oh, look at me. And, all over the place. And they have
Yeah.
a method, and they groups of men, women doing their thing.
Yeah.
Nobody was doing the David Hayes sprint up the stairs type thing. That was just our thing. Run a mile after. That was our thing.
Yeah.
Nobody else was trying to do all that.
Right.
It was him. You're gonna be climbing shit stuff. You're gonna be
Hey, tomorrow it's going
okay.
down. If
What time?
anybody like she said, if anybody want to come down and get it, we're gonna be down there tomorrow. It's going down. I think we're gonna start at probably 8:00. Can you make it at 8?
Okay. You eliminated half the audience. Saturday night. Oh, 8:00, no.
8:00, no. It's a Saturday. I mean, what you doing on Saturday? Sleeping in, probably, right?
That is sleeping in. When you're a 4 a.m. person.
Oh yeah, I'm not a 4 a.m. person. I usually don't get off work till 4. So
that's true.
I get home, get me a couple hours, and then I'm ready to go.
That's what we did last time. Yep.
So, yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you so much
for having me.
I had a wonderful time, and I appreciate the work that you guys have been doing. You guys have been amazing. I've been watching you, and I'm excited to get out there and be a part of it. Obviously.
Yes, you got to come and talk to the kids.
I would love to. I'm about that life. So you let me know when you need me. I'm gonna come through.
Yes.
I definitely want to be a part of it. So let's make it happen, and let's do some stairs too as well.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
Yes.
All right, guys. So we're gonna let y'all go, y'all. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Again, shout out to our sponsors, iShopta.com and Icon ENT for continuing to support this Circle and Circle Talk. Thank you again, Lonnetta, for being a part of this. You're amazing. Keep up all the good work, and I wish you well in your future endeavors. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Next week, we got Miss Track Talk Radio in the building. So watch out for Sherry. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See you later. Peace.